Welcome. Tonight, we travel to the farthest edges of the Roman Empire, where the forests stretch endlessly and the rivers run cold and quiet. Here, life is defined by the rhythm of the seasons, the movement of the sun, and the unbroken lines of wooden walls guarding against the unknown beyond. Imagine yourself stepping slowly along a frozen path toward a frontier fort. The air is crisp, carrying the subtle scent of pine and damp earth. Each breath rises softly into the pale morning light. Around you, the world is still, yet alive with the faint sounds of life. The distant clatter of armor, the creak of wooden beams, the soft murmur of men beginning their day. Tonight, we will linger in the daily rhythm of these remote forts, follow the quiet story of a veteran centurion, wander through mysterious shrines hidden in the woods, and finally rest in the warmth and calm of a villa far from the cold frontier. So, settle in, let your shoulders relax, and allow the slow, steady pace of this world to carry you along. You wake before the sun fully rises, in a small wooden barracks warmed only slightly by a dying ember in a hearth. The air is sharp, and your breath forms soft clouds as you move. Your fingers are stiff from the night chill, and the rough wool of your cloak scratches lightly against your skin. Outside, the fort lies silent, except for the distant sound of water trickling in the frozen river and the occasional creak of the wooden palisade as it sways against the wind. You step onto the cold floorboards, your boots echoing softly, and make your way to the fire. The warmth touches your face briefly, a gentle reminder that even here, heat is precious. The day begins slowly. Water must be drawn from the well, firewood stacked and arranged carefully to last the morning, and the fort's walls inspected. The smell of wet earth, pine, and smoke drifts through the crisp air, mingling with the tang of iron from the weapons you handle. Every movement is deliberate, every step careful on the uneven boards and frozen ground. You join your comrades in the yard, where the cold bites at exposed skin. The rhythm of daily drills is steady lifting shields, swinging wooden practiced swords, marching across the frozen courtyard. Each action is repeated over and over, with the soft scrape of boots on frost, the faint clatter of armor, and the low, even voice of the centurion calling commands. Meals are simple, yet they are moments of comfort. A bowl of thick porridge, salted meat softened in water, hard bread that crunches softly as you chew. The flavors are muted, yet familiar. They carry warmth into your stomach and small relief to your chilled body. Hours pass slowly. Patrols along the palisade are quiet, broken only by the rustle of leaves, the call of a distant bird, or the murmur of a comrade's voice. The forest beyond is vast and watchful, and the wind carries both the scent of snow and the faint, lingering smell of the river. Evenings are long. You gather near the hearth, tending armor, repairing tools, and listening to muted conversations about the distant lands you may never see. The walls of the fort offer protection, but also a quiet reminder of confinement, of the world held at bay by wood and earth. This is life on the frontier. Repetition, endurance, quiet, and the slow, unchanging rhythm of duty. Every sound, every movement, every breath is measured. And each day, though harsh, carries its own steady pace. Among the men of the fort, there is one whose presence is steady, quiet, and enduring. He is a centurion, a veteran of many campaigns, his face marked by faint lines that speak of years spent under sun, rain, and wind. Each line carries memory, experience, and the weight of responsibility. Unlike the younger soldiers, who fidget with their armor or whisper to one another, he moves deliberately, each step measured, each gesture precise. His mornings begin before most awaken. He rises quietly, feeling the chill in the air through his woolen tunic, and pads across the creaking floorboards of his quarters. By the hearth, he checks the dying embers, rearranging small logs so the fire's warmth will carry through the short morning hours. The soft smell of smoke blends with the faint scent of damp wood and frost seeping through the fort walls. He dresses methodically, pulling on layers of tunics and leggings, adjusting belts and straps with hands both worn and steady. Outside, the fort is still asleep, save for a few watchmen already moving along the palisade. The centurion walks among them, inspecting their positions, nodding softly, adjusting the strap of a helmet here, guiding a young soldier there. Every movement is purposeful. His authority is quiet but unquestioned, the kind that comes from decades of service rather than loud commands. The rhythm of the day begins slowly, like water tracing the contours of the frozen river beyond the fort. The centurion observes the men as they draw water from the well, stack firewood, or clean their armor. He notes the small details: a seam that may split in the cold, a leather strap stiffened by frost, the way a young soldier's fingers tremble as he grips his spear. He adjusts, advises, and guides, all in a soft, almost imperceptible manner. Meals are taken with the same quiet attention. Breakfast is simple porridge, thick with grain. Perhaps a bit of salted meat softened in water, and bread hard enough to resist, but satisfying in its warmth. The centurion eats slowly, mindful of each bite, chewing deliberately, savoring the small comfort of warmth in his body. Around him, the younger soldiers chatter softly, but he listens more than he speaks, offering occasional guidance or advice, always measured, always calm. The morning drills are slow and deliberate, the centurion watching carefully. Shields are lifted, swords swung in repetition, steps counted across the frozen yard. He observes mistakes quietly, correcting without harsh words, allowing each soldier to learn through repetition, through the rhythm of motion and practice. His voice, when it rises, is steady, low, and precise, never hurried, never sharp. By mid-morning, he takes a solitary walk along the palisade walls. The frost crunches softly beneath his boots, and the air carries the subtle scent of pine mixed with river water and damp earth. The forest beyond the fort is quiet but alive, whispering with the movement of unseen creatures and the distant creak of branches. He pauses, listening to the wind and the water, noting the way the trees bend, the shapes of clouds, the slight changes in the ice along the riverbank. Even in these quiet moments, he is attentive, observing, protecting, planning his awareness, a constant, gentle hum, as steady as the passing hours. Sometimes, he tends the fort's equipment personally. He oils hinges, sharpens blades, checks the tension of bowstrings, and examines the integrity of shields. Each action is slow and methodical, performed with care and precision. The centurion's hands are rough, calloused, and lined with small scars, yet capable of delicate adjustments and subtle repairs that ensure the fort's survival. In the afternoon, he gathers the men for lessons in discipline and technique. He demonstrates formations, movements, and defensive strategies. He is patient, repeating instructions quietly, over and over, so that each man can feel the rhythm of the drill, understand the weight of the shield, the reach of the spear, the placement of each footstep. There is no hurry. The lessons themselves become a gentle meditation, a pattern of repeated action that settles the mind as much as it strengthens the body. The centurion's quarters are small but orderly. He keeps a journal, its pages filled with faded ink and careful script, recording minor observations about the fort, the weather, and the men under his charge. A carved wooden figure rests on the windowsill, worn smooth by his hand, a reminder of campaigns long past. He touches these objects slowly, reverently, tracing the lines with fingers calloused from work and war. As evening descends, the fort becomes quieter. Soldiers gather around fires, repairing tools, tending minor injuries, or simply resting from the day's labors. The centurion moves among them, offering soft words of guidance, listening, watching. He sometimes pauses at the outer walls, gazing at the river, the forest, the horizon beyond. The wind carries the scent of frost, pine, and distant smoke. The river glimmers faintly in the dying light, reflecting the soft pale of the sky, calm and unbroken. Night brings a different rhythm. The watch is set, the embers in the hearth fade, and the centurion retreats to his small bed. He lies quietly, thinking of the men, the fort, the routines that must be maintained, and the forested expanse that stretches beyond. Even in sleep, there is awareness, a readiness, a gentle preparedness that marks his years of service. This centurion's life is not filled with glory or triumph. It is slow, steady, and disciplined. It is a life of observation, endurance, patience, and quiet responsibility. It is a life that mirrors the rhythm of the frontier itself. Harsh, unchanging, but alive with small moments of care, subtle beauty, and enduring presence. In this quiet, you feel the rhythm of his days. The steady rise and fall of activity. The soft crackle of fires. The gentle swish of the river. The whisper of wind through trees. And as you rest with him in mind, his life, so calm, so deliberate, so patient, becomes a gentle current, guiding you slowly toward your own quiet hours, toward rest, toward sleep. Beyond the palisade, the forest stretches deep and quiet. Ancient trees rise high, their branches forming a dense canopy that filters the pale sunlight in soft, green-gold patterns. The underbrush is thick with moss, fallen leaves, and the subtle scent of pine mingled with damp earth. Every step you take is cushioned by layers of fallen needles, soft soil, and frost, muffling sound and slowing your progress. Occasionally, a distant murmur of a river drifts through the trees, or the gentle rustle of an unseen creature passes through the undergrowth. The forest is alive, but it moves with patience, with measured motion, and with quiet attention, as if it recognizes your presence, yet does not hurry. Within this silent world lie the frontier shrines. They are small, often unassuming structures, crafted from simple wood, sometimes reinforced with stone, painted with faint symbols long faded by sun, rain, and frost. Some are low and rectangular, others slightly peaked with small, carved figurines resting on top. They are places of devotion, reflection, and ritual, built not for grandeur, but for solace. Soldiers, villagers, and travelers leave offerings here, gestures of hope, gratitude, and respect for forces they feel but cannot see. You approach one shrine slowly. The path is narrow, carpeted with pine needles, frost-laden leaves, and soft moss. Each step is careful, deliberate. The crisp air carries a subtle scent of smoke and faint herbs left by previous visitors. Your footsteps make only the softest sound. The shrine itself is modester, low wooden frame, weathered by wind and snow, its roofs slightly curved from years of frost. A small basin in front holds clear water, smooth pebbles, and sometimes coins left by soldiers who passed through long ago. Rituals here are quiet and precise. A soldier might kneel, place a token of carved wood, or leave a small portion of bread, whispering a prayer without urgency. A villager may light a bundle of herbs, watching as thin smoke curls upward through the roof, rising slowly into the pale sky. Each gesture is performed with intention, carefully, softly, like a slow meditation. No act is rushed. Each is measured. Each is deliberate. The carvings on the wood are faint, softened by years of exposure. Symbols of protection, guidance, and gratitude fill the surface. Some are simple geometric patterns, others intricate designs recalling distant homelands or ancestral traditions. You trace them slowly with your fingers, imagining the hands that shaped them, the thoughts and hopes of those who left these markings. Each line is a quiet story, repeated over years, carried forward in stillness. Many shrines feature small statues or figurines, stone, clay, or carved wood. They represent guardians, deities, or spirits of the frontier. Though simple, they hold significance. They are silent witnesses to the lives of soldiers enduring harsh winters, travelers navigating icy paths, and villagers living in isolation. You can feel their presence in the gentle shift of wind, in the subtle echo of a bird call, in the soft crunch of frost underfoot. The forest itself seems to acknowledge these spaces. Wind passing through the trees slows near the shrine, moving gently over branches. Birdsong drifts in small bursts, echoing softly against tree trunks. Even frost appears lighter, almost protective, as if the earth itself respects the devotion here. You sit quietly, noticing the smallest details. A leaf fluttering in a soft breeze, the gentle drip of melting frost from the roof, the smooth surface of a stone worn by countless hands. Each sound, each texture, each subtle motion becomes part of the meditation of the place. Time stretches, measured not by hours, but by slow, deliberate observation. You feel yourself attuned to the rhythm of the forest, the shrine, and the lives that intersect here. Some shrines are decades or even centuries old. Legends speak of soldiers who found guidance here, travelers who left gifts for safe passage, and villagers marking the turn of the seasons. Exact origins are often lost, yet the shrines endure, quiet and steady. They carry traces of countless hands, countless moments of hope and reflection. You sense the continuity of human presence, small, persistent, and patient, woven into the fabric of this remote forest. Patterns emerge in offerings over time, pebbles arranged in lines, coins tucked into corners, bundles of herbs placed carefully. Each gesture tells a story, soft and deliberate. You imagine the rhythm of these actions, a soldier pausing on patrol, a villager walking slowly through snow, a traveler bowing briefly before moving on. Each movement slow, intentional, repeated with care. Deeper in the forest, a larger shrine emerges. Its roof is thick with moss. Frost curves the shingles. Walls are faintly painted with red ochre symbols. Inside, small candles flicker, though unattended, for days or weeks. The lingering warmth of past devotion softens the cold. Shadows cast by carvings stretch slowly across the wood, bending and swaying with a ghostly calm. The shrine holds stories of the frontier. Soldiers leave whispered prayers for protection, gratitude for survival, wishes for families far away. Travelers leave tokens of thanks for water, shelter, and guidance along icy roads. Every gesture is quiet, subtle, yet rich in meaning. Even in isolation, humans create spaces of ritual and reflection, linking themselves across time and distance. You linger longer, absorbing calm and mystery. The forest breathes slowly around you. Wind passes gently over stones and moss. Animals move softly through the brush. Everything moves at a slow, patient pace, in harmony with the human presence that comes to these shrines. You notice details that might have gone unseen before. Frost melting in small rivulets, soft bird calls echoing faintly, a small carved figure tucked in a corner of the shrine. Each minor observation reinforces the steady, quiet rhythm of life on the frontier. The shrines, though simple, teach patience, attention, and reverence for small gestures. Rising to leave, you touch the shrine one last time. The carvings feel smooth under your fingers, worn by wind, frost, and countless hands. You imagine the generations of travelers, soldiers, and villagers who paused here, each leaving a small piece of themselves. The shrine stands as a quiet monument, not to grandeur, but to persistence, to care, to mindfulness. Walking back toward the fort, the forest opens slightly. Sunlight filters evenly through the trees, illuminating frost and pine, highlighting the gentle movement of the wind. The river glints faintly, carrying the memory of devotion outward, past the forest and into distant lands. The shrines are not markers of glory or fame. They are spaces of subtle faith, quiet hope, and deliberate attention. They echo the rhythm of the frontier itself, harsh, patient, enduring, and alive in small, gentle ways. And as you step back into the fort, the calm presence of these shrines follows you. Their rhythm lingers in the soft crunch of frost underfoot, the quiet swish of branches overhead, and the gentle murmur of distant water. You carry a slow, steady sense of peace, mindfulness, and reflection, a soft echo of centuries of human care and attention. Even here, far from home, life, devotion, and quiet ritual continue. And in that continuity, there is calm, there is order, there is stillness. Every step you take, every breath you draw, becomes part of the rhythm of human persistence, the rhythm of quiet devotion, the rhythm of the frontier itself. Far from the frozen forests and frontier forts, life unfolds differently in the warm sun of a Roman villa. The villa stands atop gentle hills, surrounded by olive groves, vineyards, and quiet gardens. The walls are whitewashed, their surfaces smooth and even, reflecting soft sunlight across the courtyard. Stone columns rise gracefully, framing shaded walkways, while mosaics cover the floors with intricate patterns of fish, birds, and geometric designs. Imagine yourself stepping across the threshold. The air carries a faint scent of baked bread from the kitchen, mingled with herbs growing along the stone paths. Birdsong drifts softly from the gardens. A fountain burbles quietly in the central atrium, the water catching the sunlight and scattering small, sparkling reflections across the walls. Every detail of the villa is deliberate, planned, and refined, designed for beauty, comfort, and slow, peaceful living. The day begins gently. Servants move quietly through the corridors, bringing soft light to rooms where the family still sleeps. The clink of pottery, the rustle of linens, and the soft murmur of voices fill the spaces without haste. You might notice the patter of sandals on stone floors, careful and measured, each step absorbed by carpets, rugs, or soft mats. Breakfast is served in the atrium. A simple meal: bread, honey, fresh cheese, olives, and fruit arranged with care on wooden platters. The family eats slowly, savoring warmth, taste, and texture. Conversations are gentle, deliberate, punctuated by laughter that rises softly, never harsh or hurried. Outside, the gardens sway slightly in the morning breeze, the olive trees casting slow-moving shadows across the mosaic floors. After breakfast, the day unfolds in deliberate routine. The head of the household, a paterfamilias, walks among columns, inspecting the grounds and the staff. His robe is finely woven, soft against his skin, yet heavy enough to retain warmth in the early hours. He notes the alignment of tools, the placement of vessels, the state of fountains, and the order of gardens. Each observation is quiet, unobtrusive, deliberate. Life here is guided by attention, not urgency. In the libraries and private rooms, scrolls lie neatly arranged. Pens and inkpots rest alongside them, tools of reflection, study, and record. The family may spend hours reading softly, writing slowly, copying texts with careful, deliberate strokes. Even learning is a gentle process, paced by attention rather than necessity. The sound of a stylus on parchment is faint, rhythmic, and meditative. The gardens are explored next. Walkways lined with herbs, flowers, and small fruit trees guide the family on quiet strolls. The soft crunch of gravel underfoot, the subtle rustle of leaves, the faint fragrance of lavender, rosemary, or thymol become part of the gentle rhythm of the day. You might notice bees moving lazily between blossoms, their wings beating softly, unnoticed by most but present in the quiet stillness. Meals are prepared slowly. The kitchens are warm, scented with herbs, baking bread, and roasting meats. Servants move with care, balancing vessels, stirring pots, arranging dishes, every motion deliberate, every detail attended to. Even the sound of chopping, stirring, and pouring is softened, measured, and rhythmical. Afternoons are spent in quiet reflection or gentle work. Some family members embroider, draw, or weave. Others read or discuss philosophy in hushed tones. A gentle breeze may enter through open windows, carrying the soft scent of lavender, olive, or ripening fruit. The water of the fountains ripples faintly, echoing softly across the marble floors. Time moves slowly here, deliberately, in soft, repeated patterns. There is a rhythm to each day, a repetition that is calming and predictable. The children play quietly in the shaded areas, supervised with gentle attention. Their laughter is soft, mingling with the whispers of servants and the subtle sounds of nature. The paterfamilias walks through the villa slowly, observing, noting, but never rushing. Each gesture is deliberate, measured, and calm. The evening brings reflection and gentle rituals. A bath is prepared, warm water filling stone basins. The scent of oils and herbs mingles with the air, softening muscles and calming the mind. Servants move quietly, offering towels, brushes, and gentle attention to every detail. Even bathing is a slow, mindful process, each motion measured, deliberate, unhurried. Dinner is a quiet, deliberate affair. Platters of food are arranged with care. Conversations are soft, thoughtful, punctuated with laughter that rises and falls like a gentle wave. The villa glows in soft lamplight. Shadows stretch long across the floors, flickering gently against mosaics and walls. Outside, the night air cools the gardens, the fountain ripples faintly, and the soft wind moves through olive trees. As the night deepens, the family retires. The villa becomes even quieter. Only the faint sounds of water, the whisper of leaves, and the soft steps of a lone servant moving to extinguished lamps punctuate the stillness. The walls absorb sound, the stone floors radiate warmth, and the air carries the calm of deliberate attention, care, and routine. The contrast with the frontier is clear. Here, life is not shaped by frost, danger, or constant vigilance. It is shaped by comfort, order, ritual, and subtle attention. Every small action, placing a platter, tending a fire, arranging flowers, is deliberate, slow, and thoughtful. Every gesture is repeated with care, creating rhythm, pattern, and calm. Yet, even in this calm, there is discipline. The paterfamilias monitors the household, the servants follow routines, the gardens are maintained, and the family observes daily rituals of hygiene, prayer, and learning. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is overlooked. The villa thrives on attention, awareness, and slow, deliberate care. By night, the villa is calm, almost like a living meditation. Shadows flicker across walls, wind rustles leaves outside, the fountain gurgles softly, and the stars appear one by one in the clear sky. The family sleeps in cool, soft rooms, the scent of herbs lingering faintly, the warmth of lamps softened to restfulness. Outside, the gardens rest, the fountains murmur faintly. The villa itself breathes in quiet rhythm. The life of the elite is not filled with hardship, yet it is structured, deliberate, and slow. It teaches mindfulness in small acts, observing, tending, adjusting, and reflecting. Comfort exists, but it exists alongside repetition, patience, and attention to detail. This rhythm, gentle and unhurried, guides you through the soft passage of time. And as you imagine walking through the villa, touching mosaics, smelling herbs, hearing water and wind, you feel the calm of deliberate, measured life. The rhythm of the elite echoes softly in your mind, a slow and persistent pulse that contrasts with the harsh frontier but offers equal calm. You are immersed in the quiet, steady pattern of care, observation, and presence. You move through the villa slowly, deliberately, following the rhythm of each day, until your own mind drifts with the gentle pace of history itself.